Listen, we've got some callers
Oh,
standing
yeah.
by.
Bless
We-
their
we
heart. All
love to
these
honor
beautiful
them.
people.
So why don't we just start with the person who called in first, and that's Carmelina, and welcome her to the show.
Sure.
Now, welcome, sweetheart.
Hello.
Hi, Angel. How may we serve you
Hello?
today? Hi.
Hi, yes. I was just wondering, I guess, I have been single for a while now. It's been like 3 years. I had a serious relationship like about 3 years ago, and then that ended. And I haven't really liked anybody. I just recently liked this guy, but he has like some baggage, and I don't think he's ready for what I'm looking for. And I'm kind of just wondering, like, because I feel like finally in my life I'm ready to meet someone. Like, when am I going to?
Well, that's an interesting point. You want me to jump in first here, or are we going to all just kind of
Whatever. That would be fine if you'd like to. Sure.
Sure. Well, actually, Carmelita, what's going on here is that, let me just ask you where your father is. Where's your dad? Is he still alive?
Yes.
Do you have a connection with him?
Yes.
Good. He's holding a lot of the answers for you here. In some ways, you have been holding people up to his image. And that's not a bad thing. But basically what's going to happen here is you have several contracts, and by contracts I don't mean things you have to get done. I simply mean highest potentials for you to do something here. You did not want to be alone in this lifetime, and you basically set up several contracts. You're very frustrated because you have found people sometimes that you have tried to bring into your father's standard, and that, does this make sense to you about what I'm saying?
I mean, my dad is a good guy, yeah, so I would like to find a good guy. I've seen it out, found a good guy, so I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump in just for 1 second. I just want to share with you the image that they're sharing with me, because everything that Steve's sharing is right on, and I want you to close your eyes if it's safe to do so, and I want you to feel yourself coming up out of the water. And this extraordinary, beautiful group that's around you right now is saying, come up out of the water and drop the baggage. In other words, it's like it's your time to be reborn. And this is part of what's tying in with that energy around your dad, but also around the energy that you're carrying. And they're saying, stand up, drop the baggage, and then turn around, meaning look in a different direction. And here's the thing. You're also resonating really strongly right now with the number 4. I'm hearing 4 weeks, 4 months. And so over the next 4 weeks, I would suggest every week, look at, what have I released this week? What accumulated baggage from living a life of drama no longer serves me? And the more that you do that, the closer you are. And this person that you're with right now, they need to release their baggage too. And so it's time for you to let your presence attract what you want. And sometimes that happens when we are with someone who's just waiting for us to start. And I didn't mean to interrupt Steve. I just wanted to jump in and share that. So that's my
I'm
little
not with
2
anyone
cents.
right now. I'm not with anyone right now.
Okay, well then they're right there, babe. I see them because they're right around
I do see
you.
somebody close as well. I see somebody.
Yeah, they're right there. So it's just about allowing that to come forward for you. And thank you for calling, Angel. We have a lot of people online, so many blessings. And go have fun. Let the next 4 weeks be amazing, and just let go of anything that doesn't serve you.
Okay, I mean, I guess I'm just a little confused on what you're saying, but... Okay.
Well, then I invite you to listen to the recording of the show again, and listen to what Steve said, and listen to what I said, and I think you'll find that it will absolutely work out.
Namaste. And we'd like to move on to one more caller here before we take our station break. And so we have got Susanna standing by on line 4. And
Namaste, dear
caller.
one. Oh, welcome to the show, Susanna. Thanks for calling.
Namaste. Thank you for taking my call.
Our
I
pleasure.
need some guidance.
Sure.
I retired from work in December. Now, ever since, I have been having physical problems like vertigo, sinus. I now am suffering from stomach ulcers. So would it be possible to get advice on how to get my body back into harmony, into balance, and how to heal that ulcer?
Well, absolutely.
This is not how I had projected my retirement to be.
Yeah, sweetheart. So first and foremost, just take a hand and place one hand. Doesn't matter if it's your left or your right hand, and place it on your stomach. And I want you to just take your other hand, whichever one it is, and place it on your heart. And as you hear from all of us right now, I want you to just be continually pumping energy from your heart into the hand that's on your heart, circulate it through your body into that hand that's on your stomach, and just start a circuit of receiving love and receiving reassurance. And we're just going to offer you a few things. Steve, would you like to jump in?
Yeah, I'll simply say that your body's resetting itself. You basically have lost some of your structure, and congratulations on the retirement, by the way. It's been a big thing in your life. But your body is basically resetting itself to live in a different vibration. Structure is very helpful for all of us in different ways. So I would find ways of bringing some structure back into your life to help your body reset. You'll be out of the survival mode pretty soon. I know that seems to be kind of where you're at here, but it's actually part of the movement that you've been going through. But I would find the structure and move into the passion, because that is many times retirement is a killer, because we lose things that we're doing. We think we're going to go off into the sunset and enjoy every day of our life, and we wake up and we're lonely, we're tired, we're not in the situation we want. So find that passion, that one thing that you're really good at. And you're quite creative, my dear. That's the thing that I would look at. One of your forms of creativity, and finding a way to express that, even if you're not feeling good. It'll help ground a lot of the energy and keep moving through it.
So keep breathing, Angel. Keep receiving. Keep pumping that heart energy.
And since you've got a group of us here, let me just underscore. I want to what Steve said about structure is so important, especially when you retire. Make sure that you follow some form of healthy schedule of how you take care of yourself, how you greet the day, how you end the day, and then here's the passion piece. Why not take a piece of paper and write what brings me joy is, and just journal multiple endings to that sentence stem. What brings me joy is. And as you create your joy list, you're going to find those particular nuggets that will ignite you, and the stomach will settle down.
You know, it really will, my love. And if you haven't done it yet, please get a copy of Kira's Cure. It's the ebook that we just published. It's now available on Kindle, or you can click on it right here at ShriandKira.com or ShriandKiraRadio.com and grab the ebook. You know, it's all of 99 cents, and it will walk you through a lot of ways to deal with when our body starts claiming that it has control. And so thank you for calling, Angel. I think it's perfect you called today. Namaste, and much love to you.
Thank you all. It's been very, very nice. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Angel. Namaste.
Many blessings to you.
Take care.
And, thank you so much to all of you listening. We're at the half-hour point here. We're going to take a little station break.
How does that happen?
Time has been moving
It
along.
is so
I don't
fluid.
know.
I just
don't know
love
how
it.
that happens. Well, I do know it happens every hour.
Well, it does happen every hour.
And so stay with us. We have a lot more show to go, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. We're delighted that you're with us now.
We really are. And, what a powerful show. The time is just flying by because this is a powerful topic.
Well, and when we began the show, we shared a little bit of a letter that one of our listeners sent in.
And I want to read another one of his questions in a moment.
And it's a provocative topic.
There's a word. It is provocative. So here's one of the things that he also talked about. He said, in the conversation of channeling, what often arises is a question of good, evil, or benign, the question of angels, demons, or a mental condition. And how do we really know the answer if, in fact, someone is dealing with a deceptive voice that is using a channel to gain a voice on earth? That's a powerful question. He also said, it seems like many people who do channel often seem to deny the existence of evil. And, we have such a blessing here to have Steve and Barbara with us today to add to this conversation as far as there is. I remember, Shri, when you and I first went out, we were so naive. Oh, my God, bless us. We were so naive. We went out there and we were just doing it because we said
shared
yes.
the gift that was given to us.
We just said yes and kept going. And the people who projected, leading up to culminating the attempt on my life, I mean, we've had so many things happen. And yet there is a blessing to keep going, to navigate. And there's a strength in union. I know certainly we have that blessing, and Steve and Barbara have that blessing. And I think that Brian's questions are very, very valid. And let's talk about that.
Well, so let me pinpoint this a little bit. Steve, you shared with us that opening moment, and Barbara, what, as this group began to speak through Steve, what was going on for you?
Things had to change.
I mean, were you in trust around this, or was there doubt? How did you move through your own process?
I went right into fear, and I'm glad, because there was a lesson that I learned that now I share with other people, because we have couples that the wife is all into this type of new information, and the husband is in fear of what's happening to my wife, and
right.
I was like that. I was like, what? Who is this new Steve Rother? I didn't know my husband anymore, and I was unfamiliar with channeling, even though I was on my spiritual path. It really rocked our world, and at that time, I just wanted him to have a steady job and all that. But, I listened to my heart, and that's what got me through it. And I said, you know what? You go for it, and you just follow your path. I trust you. And that's what it takes, is following your heart and trust. And I'm glad I did. I kept my steady job and let him create this magic that he was working toward, creating Lightworker. And as it was developing, I soon said, you know what, you're having too much fun with this. I'm going to leave my job and join you. And he said, wait a minute. And his security button kicked in and said, you can't leave your steady income. I said, just watch me. And then, once I did, we created this beautiful union in our work. And it grew from there. And, we didn't worry about money. That money was just an issue that just wasn't a worry to us.
It was always there.
Because we grew in our passion, and the money followed.
That was it.
Well, now what you're demonstrating right now is that leap of faith, or that willingness to commit to your authentic calling, following the joy.
Right. Well, but now here's something Barbara said that I want to underscore. Barbara, you gave Steve a great gift, because you gave him your support. And, Sheree, you gave me that gift too. Now, Steve, let me ask you this. I know for myself, when this first started coming through me, I always say I was the idiot savant of this. I really went through my own, the messages were incredible, but yet there was this internal struggle. There was this internal resolution. I remember looking at Sheree and saying, I am never going to do this in public. I am never going to let anybody know this happens.
You're telling my story. You're absolutely telling my story. At one point, I really wanted to know more about it, because people were saying, hey, how do you know these aren't the bad guys? Exactly the same as your question here. How do you know that these guys can be trusted? These group of yours can be trusted. So I asked him.
How did you come to your own resolution?
So how did you walk through that? I mean, obviously you have a wonderful partner,
but how else? It was a conversation I had with them. And I basically said, I need something. I need identification. I need some sort of credentials, or I can't channel you.
Right.
And they came back with the answer, we honor all of your decisions. And they went silent. Mm-hmm. They stopped channeling through me.
Right.
And I immediately went into a depression. It only lasted about, 4 or 5 days or something. And finally, I went back and I kind of went, knock, knock, are you still there? And they laughed hysterically. They thought that was hilarious.
Of course they did.
Would actually leave
I love
me.
it.
But basically, they said, I said, if you won't tell me who you are, tell me why you won't tell me who you are. And they said, now you've asked a really good question. They said, now you've asked a great question. And they said, very simply, you humans have a tendency to want to give power to the labels. And
True.
That's where our fear of the unknown, or the dark side, comes from. Now, if you just look at light and darkness, light always wins out over darkness. In fact, darkness only exists where there is a lack of light. You can always take a flashlight and shine it in a dark corner and bring light into it. So,
Indeed.
Do I deny evil? No, I don't. But I don't play that game either.
Well, that's the discernment, isn't it? Isn't it about really cultivating your spiritual discernment?
Yes, it does, but not for me. It's real simple. So that is really what I've learned to do with this whole thing. And then they started saying, okay, we're going to give you all the information you want, but we don't want you putting labels on it or 23rd dimension or archangel this or archangel that. They just wanted the message to come through.
Well, when we first began our work, we were warned about psychic attacks, and it concerned me at first, and I thought,
Sure.
I'm not going to accept that. I envisioned myself like a duck with water rolling off its back, like a duck with the water, just not accepting it. And it's like Steve said, voodoo only works if you take it in and accept it as your truth. So is there negativity out there? Yes. Are there people that don't agree with us and might wish us harm? Maybe so, but it's not in my world, and that's what's important. If you accept only goodness in your world, then the negativity does not enter it.
Well, only love exists here, and that was really a very similar message that we were given, which is only love exists, and it's what you're putting your attention toward and how you radiate. Because the reality is, it's your presence. The presence will always.
But this wonderful game board that we're dancing with here is a free will zone. Yes. And so there's a lot of misguided, or let's just say more tragic strategies that are playing out.
Well, Sri, I love what they're saying here, because I remember you in our first book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home, one of the things you did was you absolutely called out and said, how do I know you guys are real? And how do I know this message is of the highest? I mean, you were the biggest skeptic in my life was you.
Well, and just in a quick paraphrase, because the message was similar, is Archangel Zadkiel at that time said, I am the appointed one to deliver this information to you, and because you asked me to.
Right.
And I said, I don't remember that. And he said, well, he says, give it time.
Not quite. But...
At any rate,
that's wonderful.
But the nutshell that I want to share is that what Zadkiel shared was, if the message leaves you feeling less than, if the message leaves you judging another person, if the message leaves you with any sense of hierarchy, it is not of the highest.
And that your heart is the ultimate truth detector. And so it is. And, that's the blessing, is that so often, when we get these questions, like Brian has another question here about manipulations and interference, what we have discovered in our experience, and I'd love to hear your sharing, is that when a message seems to be quote unquote manipulated, it's often because the stream of energy is filtering through an egoic filter.
Right. Basically, I consider myself to be a translator.
Mm-hmm. Now, exactly.
If I'm very much attached to something myself, can I taint the message as it comes through me? Absolutely we can. We're human. We're not perfect beings, a vessel. And you said the magic word earlier, discernment. Mm-hmm. That's when they told me about discernment. They said discernment is the first empowerment tool in the new energy.
Absolutely.
Said, if it resonates with your heartstrings, take it as your own. And if it doesn't, don't judge it. Don't call it bad. Just call it not for me at this moment.
I love that. And isn't that the gift, is that the more people that can hear that, because there is such a plethora. We are at the time where a teacher is appearing for every being. And, all beings are finding their journey. And it doesn't mean that you have to agree with all journeys. However, it is truly not in our place to interfere with anyone's journey. It's in each being's discernment to discover the path that will lead them home.
That's beautiful. Absolutely.